Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Norm's Friends. I'm David B., the readings guy, 603-404-9338. And believe it or not, my first guest of 2024, third floor John. He's a jet setter traveler, takes these wicked expensive excursions all over the world, so he'll be talking about his travels. After he introduces himself naturally, we'll come back. I'll do the inspirational quote. We'll do the fun facts today. You're going to love it. So anyway, John, take it away. Let everybody know who you are. The camera's there. The camera is there.
Okay, this is my first television appearance. I'm John.
Third floor John, right?
Third floor John.
Third
Yes.
floor John. He's done extensive travel, so once we get through with this, he's got some really visited some very interesting, fabulous places, so we'll get into that. So, seeing as I have a guest, let's get to it, because a lot of times I ramble on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, inspirational quote. I love this one. This one jumped out at me last night. Make improvements, not excuses. Seek respect, not attention. Roy T. Bennett, The Light in the Heart. The guy's written, I don't know, hundreds, maybe thousands of them, and it's most of the time it says The Light in the Heart. I wonder if that's a book he wrote. I should get the book. All right, anyways, there you have it. The inspirational fact, one of my favorite inspirational quoters. I do his a lot. All right, so today, seeing as it's winter time and it's cold out, the interesting fun facts today have to do with, and we've probably all had some in our life, especially this time of year. Interesting fun facts today, cocoa. All right, so interesting fun fact number one. There is a difference between, how do you say C-A-C-A-O instead of C-O? Cacao? Cacao. All right. There is a difference between cacao. He just clarified for me. See? Good thing. He's not here by accident today. Cocoa and chocolate. Cocoa and chocolate come from the fruit of the cocoa tree. I never knew it was a tree either. The tree produces large pods that contain anywhere from 20 to 40 beans or seeds. You knew that?
Beans, yeah. You get your chocolate from
Did you
cocoa
know
beans.
it was 20 or 40?
No, I didn't know
Okay,
the specific
remember,
number.
because we're going to have a pop quiz after. All right. Okay. Raw ground seeds are, how'd you say it? Cacao?
Cacao, I think so, yeah.
Cacao, cocoa, I don't know. It's only when they are fermented, dried, and roasted that they become cocoa. Chocolate gets made by mixing the cocoa paste with cocoa butter. Additional fat separated from cocoa paste, along with sugar, emulsifiers, and often vanilla. Interesting fun fact number two. Cocoa, bet you didn't know this, I didn't. Cocoa fights tooth decay. Right? Certain parts of the cocoa bean are known to have antibacterial properties that fight tooth decay and have been so successful in studies they may one day get added to toothpaste. Man, I just chocolate toothpaste. I'm not so sure. Huh. Interesting fun fact number three. Cocoa really is a mood enhancer. Cocoa contains a number of feel-good chemicals. For starters, it contains caffeine. I figured a little maybe. It also contains, see me if you ever heard of this, theobromine, which, like caffeine, stimulates our nervous system. Why would you want to see me? If I have too much coffee, I'm like bouncing off the walls and I'm like all jittery. Last but not least, cocoa contains a compound called, it's a tongue twister, phenylethylamine. that not only releases endorphins, but also increases our production of dopamine, both of which are linked to pleasure and sexual arousal. Interesting fun fact number 4. Before the Mayans, is that how you say it? Mayans, excuse me, before the Mayans and the Aztecs, they were the Olmecs, who likely, see, I'm just noticing this now, who likely mixed the crushed beans in water with herbs and spices, likely, so they're assuming now. So this may or may not be true. By the time Spanish conquistadors made it to Mexico, the Aztecs had been drinking a form of hot cocoa called zacolado, which Emperor Montezuma exclaimed as the divine drink that builds resistance and fights fatigue. A cup of this precious drink permits a man to walk for a whole day without food. Close quote. Imagine. Interesting fun fact number 5. This is pretty cool. I never even dawned on me. The chocolate bar went public in, I think it's 1849. I only have 184. I might be 1847 because I know sometimes on my keyboard's old that they don't come out. Anyway, England had chocolate bars as far back as 1830, but up to this point, it was a treat reserved exclusively for royalty. Imagine. That changed in 184. Must be 7. I'm going to say 1847. When the English company Fry's, F-R-Y apostrophe S, created the very first chocolate bar for the general public. Imagine. I never realized this either. Interesting fun fact number 6. There are how many different types of cocoa?
That I don't know. Sorry.
A world traveler. 4. 4 different types. There's probably Criollo, Criollo. Aren't 2 L's pronounced Y in Spanish?
I don't know Spanish.
Hola, gracias. You must know those, right? That's Buenos Dias,
basic.
Buenos Dias, Buenos
noches.
Oh, however, see? All right, there's Criollo, Forastero, Trinitario, and Nacional. Roughly 80% of the world's cultivated cocoa is Forastero because of its higher yield and faster growth time. While the cocoa tree is native to Central and South America, the majority of it, another typo, 0%. I forget, I think another one, 70%, because that's the number that has the word, and I never checked. 70% is produced in West Africa. The other varieties, while cultivated, either produce fewer beans or are just more difficult to grow, though Criollo is said to produce a more sophisticated flavor. All right, interesting fun fact number 7. All right, which country consumes more chocolate per capita than any other nation on earth?
United States?
No. I thought you would know this,
Not the
being a
Netherlands.
world traveler. The Swiss consume more chocolate per capita than any other nation on earth. The U.S. accounts for 20% of world chocolate consumption, with 21% of cocoa imports. However, the Swiss consume more chocolate per person than any other nation at how many pounds per person per year?
5.
22.
22.
They're serious chocolatiers. Americans consume 11 pounds per person, only half. Despite producing most of the world's cocoa, Africans account for only 3% of chocolate consumption each year. It's because they can't afford it over there, the poor things. All right. Interesting fun fact number 8. Bet you didn't. Who would have ever fathomed this one? Cocoa was once used as currency. Do you believe it? How do you cacao?
Cacao, I think.
Cacao,
Something,
however
I
you
don't know,
say
whatever.
it, the trick word.
Mhm.
Cacao beans that grew in the equatorial region of Veracruz in Mexico were used as currency until, again, 137, must be a 9, 1379. When Montezuma was defeated by Cortez in 1519, the conquistadors searched his palace and found huge quantities of cocoa beans instead of gold, silver, or precious metals. It must be addictive also. All right. Interesting fun fact number 9. Cacao's antioxidant power, all caps, ORAC, ORAC, is one of the very highest. Considered a superfood thanks to its many wholesome qualities, it can help protect against cell aging, tumors, and even some diseases like Alzheimer's. Too late for me. And finally, number 10, cocoa trees live as long as how many years?
100.
No, 200 years, but only produce quality food for 25. So there you have it. There's the fun facts today. All right, so if anybody, first time caller, I have a busy little, it's real foggy, maybe because I've been in the car all day. I don't know. It's all fogged up. First time caller who wants a reading, crystal ball. In the meantime, John, so you've done extensive travel
speaking
here.
of chocolate, in Grassfields in Amsterdam, they have the best
what
hot
fields?
chocolate.
Where?
Greenwoods. Greenwoods is a little shop. It's a shop in Amsterdam. And they have the best hot chocolate. They make it from real chocolate and milk. They melt them.
Oh, I would
Chocolate's
like
very
that.
good. When my first visit to Amsterdam, I would go there every morning and have a hot chocolate.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Now,
And
does
the
this
best-
come with whipped cream or marshmallow?
Oh, definitely, yes. You have to have
Whipped
the
cream or
cream.
marshmallow?
No, whipped cream on top,
Oh.
yes. And if you go to Bruges in Belgium, they have lots of chocolate shops. You can actually go and watch them make their handmade chocolate. And they pour it in the different molds and so forth.
Get out. Wow.
So, yeah, they have, and the Belgians have some of the best chocolate. So,
Really, when I was a kid, growing up in Medford, naturally, down the street, well, we lived on Wall Street, but the street off of it, 2 streets down, you took a left, Gaston Street. And you went down, and I forget what number, but I remember it was the house up high. You walked up all these stairs, and you knocked on the lady's cellar door. She was the candy lady. And you go in there, and that's where you could, she would do it, if she would, whatever she was doing, she'd keep doing it. She'd let you in, and you'd point about, I want, those look good or that, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes, my mother would write down, make sure you get at least, we'll say, like 6 of these things. And you'd go in there, and that should have the trays. I don't know how big they were. Should have the trays, and should be pouring the chocolate in them. It was pretty cool.
yeah.
I know. So, anyway,
Well,
look at this. He's got this fantastic list of all these wonderful places, these excursions that he took.
well, yeah,
for
the
the
countries
elite.
that I've visited, I've been to Canada, Iceland, Ireland, England, Scotland, the Netherlands, which is my favorite, Germany, Austria, Hungary, the Czech Republic, Majorca, Israel, and Japan.
So you beat me to the point. I was going to ask you, out of all these, which is your favorite? You said the
Well, I
Netherlands.
keep going back to the Netherlands.
I know. So why
Well,
is
it was
that your
interesting.
favorite?
In 2016, I took a Viking River cruise, and it left from Amsterdam.
Below sea level.
Yes, and when I arrived in the city, I was just I don't know. I felt like I was home again for some reason. I don't know why. I just really had a great feeling and everything, and so I decided that I was going to retire, and I wanted to live in the Netherlands for 5 years and travel around Europe. but that didn't quite work out because of the housing shortage. They have a severe housing shortage in the Netherlands.
But no,
And
like
as a
this
res-
country now.
Yeah, as a result of that, they wouldn't give me a residency permit. A friend that I have over there put in for an apartment in 2014, and he's just moved in December. He got his apartment in December of 2023.
Wow, yeah, but now, when you're speaking of that, you couldn't get a residency permit, but it's part of the EU, so couldn't you get a residency permit in any other EU country and then go
Well,
there?
I was hoping to get Irish citizenship because my grandfather was born in Ireland, and if I was able to get Irish citizenship on the passport from Ireland passport as part of the EU, and I
Right.
would have been able to live there. However, they couldn't they couldn't find my grandfather's birth certificate, so that
Oh, like Obama's. Oops.
well, yeah. So, but I did.
So that was the end of
That was the end of the Irish
citizenship
citizenship venture. My cousin, who was an archaeologist, George Ogan, he took me to the house where my grandfather was born in Nobber, and it was quite interesting. But I also learned that he was born out of wedlock, so
Oh, that's what- so that's why they
probably
don't-
why there was no birth
Right.
certificate.
You know,
And
it's
I
fu-
doubt they brought him for baptism at the local Catholic church because that
Right.
wouldn't go over too well.
I always wanted to go there, but I've never been there.
Oh, it's very beautiful. Yeah, Ireland's
Is
beautiful. Yeah.
Did you kiss the Blarney Stone?
Yes, I did. You literally hang out.
Mm.
They hold your feet, and you look down a couple of 100 feet and hope the guy doesn't
They
let
don't
go
let
of
you
your
go?
legs. Yeah, so that's an experience.
But I heard nasty stories about the Blarney Stone. All the locals urinate on it and stuff, and then all the tourists are there kissing the Blarney Stone.
Well, I hadn't heard that, but they do wipe it between
Kissing?
kisses.
Oh,
Yes.
so that's
so-
good. That's good.
Yes.
At least we know that. All right,
Mhm.
so they sanitize it. At least have you think that they do.
Right. Hmm.
So, well, you've got the floor here, so what, you know.
Well, really, if you want to travel someplace, the Netherlands is a nice country, and the reason that I like it is because it's a well-to-do country. They keep their infrastructure up to date, so all of the utilities are underground, unlike here. So even out in cow country, even in the farmland, everything's underground. They're always keeping everything up to date. There are more bicycles than people in the Netherlands, so they have bike paths everywhere.
Wow.
So, but if you're in Amsterdam, you've got to look out for the bikes. So you've got to watch for trams, cars, and bicycles
Wow.
when you try to cross the street. So that's something to get used to. And they do go. And my first adventure walking on what I thought was a sidewalk was was a bike path, and they have bells that they ring, and of course you could all of a sudden hear all these bells ringing behind me, which means get out of the way because they're coming through. So, but yeah, so there's a lot there's a lot of good things to see in Amsterdam, and they call it
Like
Amsterdam.
what? They have to.
Well,
I've
first
never-
when you arrive in Amsterdam,
do they really have those places the hookers sit in the windows?
Yes, that's called the red light district. Yeah, that's one section. You're not allowed to take pictures or anything. Or they have these guys will throw your camera in the canal.
Really?
So yeah, you can walk through. They're very narrow alleyways,
Yeah.
and they have the windows with the ladies sitting in there.
Now, is she holding the sign for her price?
No, the prices are actually, it's very interesting. At first I
Are we
thought
speaking
the
from
Netherlands was
experience now,
crazy.
right?
No,
You,
well,
come
I
here.
did visit them.
Is that how
yes.
you do it? Come here.
No, but I thought they were crazy because what they do is they have legalized prostitution, they've legalized marijuana and so forth. But after speaking to the people, it's not that they're condoning these behaviors, they just know that people are going to engage in these behaviors, so by legalizing it, they get the criminal element out of it. And so the ladies who participate in this endeavor, they have to be tested on a particular schedule. The prices are actually set by the government, so it doesn't
Really?
matter
Wow.
who you choose. You know, their prices are all set, and I guess they pay for a window, and then they sit in the window, and then if somebody decides to participate, then they close the drapes. But
Oh, so that's in the window too, except behind drapes.
yeah,
See
that's
that?
yeah. When you look through the window, there's a lady sitting there, usually on a stool, and then there's the bed and stuff behind that. But it's just one little room with a window and a door, and so that's the red light district.
And
So
like they all young things, or do you see like?
well, I only
You-
went
you-
down one aisle or one alleyway,
One aisle.
and well, they're very narrow. Yes, you
Yeah.
couldn't drive a car down there. They're very narrow, and it's very crowded because it's a tourist attraction. So everybody's just going down gawking at the. But it's crowded.
Are they
so
clothed or unclothed? These
they're
women?
scantily clothed. So yeah, so that's the red light district. But the best thing when you first get there is to take a canal cruise, because if you take the canal cruise, then you can get a feel for
yeah.
how the city is. And we've already done the red light district. And of course they have the food hallen, which is where you can go. They have all the different types of food. Surprisingly, French fries are a big thing in the Netherlands, which I wouldn't have thought. But they have a lot of these fry shacks, and then of course on near Dam Square they have the little shop that says they're the best fries in Holland.
Really?
But the
Were
first
they? Were they?
thing you have to remember is that if you're getting French fries, you are not going to get ketchup.
What
They
do you
do not
get?
put ketchup on the French fries. They use mayonnaise.
Well, that's like Canada,
Yeah,
but
so
I
if
like
you-
mayonnaise with French
So at this
fries.
particular fry shop, so I decided to take some, and he says, "What type of mayonnaise do you want?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And they had 35 different flavors of
Wow.
mayonnaise to, yeah. So that's
35 different
flavors. Yeah, they're all different types. So I just picked the basic.
That's
basic
what
one.
I would pick.
But
Give me Hellmann's.
I'll stick with the French ketchup on the French fries.
Oh,
So
I don't mind mayo. I like mayo, so it's
Yeah.
to me it's not bad.
hmm
And so what else?
Well, they so when you first arrive, you'll arrive at Amsterdam Central, which is this huge train station, and it's the architecture of that building is actually absolutely phenomenal. It is a beautiful building. It's very hard to get a picture of it because it's so huge. It's hard to get it all into one picture, and it's got ornate brickwork and all that stuff. It's quite an impressive building. And then right across the street from that is one of my favorites. It's Locha. It's the steakhouse, and they have the best steaks I've ever had anywhere. They have
Really?
these nice tenderloin steaks, and no matter any time I've gone, I've never been disappointed. They've been
And
excellent.
what are the prices like over there for the summer?
Well, it's about $30 for a steak.
Oh, so that's not too bad.
It's comparable to what we have. And my last visit, I was in Breda, and they actually have one there, and so I went to the one in Breda. The one in Breda has a nicer building, but the one in Amsterdam has, it's on the water and everything,
Yeah.
so you can sit out on the deck and so forth. So it weather permitting and so forth. So that's nice. So that's definitely one place to.
So what is the weather like over there?
Variable, yes. In any given day, you can have sunshine, clouds, rain, wind, and
Like
the time
here.
not to go is like November and December. That's the rainy season. And when I was planning to retire there, I actually went at 4 different times of the year so I could get a feeling for it. And that's not the time to go. It's
Did you go
gray,
then?
damp, rainy, windy. They don't really get cold like they used to. The canals rarely freeze over now, so they don't do the skating on the canals like they used to. But they occasionally get snow, so it's usually maybe, well, it would be in centigrade. It would be around between 0 and 5 most of the time.
So 0
Is
I just
32.
always do 0 is 32,
32
and
is
then 5 is
freezing.
but what 2.1 or
That's-
something, right?
Well, it'd be around between 40, say 32 and 40 would be the average temperatures. But then you add in the rain and wind and so forth, so.
Right, yeah.
But, yeah, the other, of course, everybody knows that they're known for their windmills, so you see windmills everywhere.
Oh, no
Both-
wonder.
Both the traditional ones and the new ones, because of course they're big on the new energy. So, and then there's, if you go down, there's Dam Square, and that's where they have the palace, the royal palace is there. What else
Is
do we
that
have?
like the White House?
Well, it's the king's, where the king's palace is, yes.
Oh.
They're a constitutional monarchy, So they actually have a king and a queen, and they celebrate King's Day in April.
Have you been there for that?
Yes. Yeah.
And what do they do?
Well,
Does the king come out?
they all dress in orange, and yeah, the king makes a speech on King's Day.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he have like a balcony like the Queen in England there on the Buckingham Palace?
Well, not really, but he just has a place where he makes the speech.
Is it real lavish?
I wouldn't say.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Norm's Friends. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's the energy lady. How are you?
I'm
Hi, Dan.
fantastic.
Hi, John.
Hello.
So, Energy Lady, what do you think?
Yeah?
What do you think of this bitter cold?
It is cold out there.
It is. Hey, what would you like to ask the world traveler here?
Well, I was listening to the restaurants he knows and everything. He was talking about this beautiful tender steak and everything. It costs $30.
Right.
Sounds good.
It does.
It is.
It does. I love steak.
John, what do you do?
I'm retired. I was a software engineer.
Oh, that's nice. I'm retired too.
No, poor me. I have to work. I still have to work.
That's okay.
Poor
That's
me.
okay.
Poor me. I know.
I know. It'll come fast enough and you'll be wishing you were out there doing your job.
That's right. Hey, who's doing all the praying lately? I see someone really doing a lot of praying.
Me.
There you go. Just thought I'd pass it along. Keep it up.
Always.
Keep it up. So you have
I pray for world peace. I pray for health for everybody, and I pray for everything.
good for you. Good for you. So what else would you like to ask my world traveler elite guest here?
Well, not elite, but anybody can.
Well,
try.
I'm listening to everything he knows about his traveling, the places to go, and all that. So I don't know what to ask him, really.
Right. Well, are you thinking of traveling, Energy Lady?
No, but I travel a lot with my mind.
Well, we know that. Hey, don't forget.
What?
Are you going to vote next in the primary?
Of course.
Just making sure. Just making sure.
Of course.
Very important.
Right. And me, I'm
It's
more.
very important, you know. We have to find out what's going on in the world.
That's right.
That's what I'm wishing for. A nice president, world peace, the world getting back together, our economy straightened out, and people and everything else.
I hear you. And me. And
You, what do you mean? You're going to be straightened out?
no, I feel the same. You know, I want those same.
I hear your friend laughing. I could. I love
I
laughter.
know. I know. But I'm not able to travel. I'm not as fortunate because I still have to work. So, you know, I'm
Well, you
poor.
do travel on your jobs, and you do make people happy.
Well, that's true. I do.
You're always with the public.
Well, I am. And next week I'm working the polls. And I'm going to make a confession right now. I hope she's not watching, though. After the show, I'm supposed to go for training for be a poll worker next week. But I've been doing it for since I moved up here, so a little over 3 years. I was thinking, and I did tell her that I had a prior engagement, so because it starts at 6. I told her I would be late, but I just feel, I've been up since 5:45. I just feel like going home and unwind and.
Goodness, you better go home and have a nice cup of soup and have a nice toast with it and relax.
Well, yeah, this lady from the Elks today, she brought me a nice bowl of homemade turkey soup, so I'm going to have that when I get home.
Oh, wow, it's funny I should say that.
See that? I know. So, well, you're psychic, you know.
I'm tuning in.
That's it. See that? I know. People think you're always tuned in, like me. They go, well, you should know that you're psychic. It's like, I'm not always tuned in. People don't realize that. I know. Well,
Self-consciously you are tuned in, but you're not tuned in at the right time.
Right, or I'm not I'm tuned in, but, not sort of that focused. You know what I mean? My focus is out here as opposed to, like that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, like I said, you're always with the public. You're always dealing with nice people and everything. You guys make the fun and everything.
Right. Well, hey, I try to put a smile on everyone's face that I come in contact with.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
But that's right. Anyway, listen, I'm going to let you go because I'm going to hear about his travels here. I'm jealous. I like to, you know, because I don't.
Poor baby. Okay, I'll let you go. Have a good one, John. Have a good one.
Well, thank you.
Stay happy, healthy, strong. God bless.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Isn't she a sweetheart?
Yes.
See?
Mhm.
So, we're talking about the Netherlands. I do love steak. I always buy the thick cut sirloin, which is nice. And, you know, they come in like chunks. I call them chunks. Like that, and they're about that thick. The best.
Yeah.
And I share with Fred. He doesn't eat a lot of people food, but like I had one last night where he shares that with me. And then all he likes is fish, you know, like salmon, cod, swordfish, tuna fish. He loves that. Before the mayo, he doesn't like mayo either. So what else?
Well, it's interesting. Like if you fly into to the Netherlands, you're probably flying to Schiphol, and that
fly into where?
Schiphol. It's the airport.
Oh, that's the name of the airport.
It used to be a lake. They drained the lake. The lake was called Schiphol, and they decided that probably wasn't a good name for the airport, so they changed it to an O. But when I was taking a tour to go out to see Kuchenhof, where they have the tulips, the lady going out said they have a statue with 5 men standing on each other's shoulders, and the guy at the top has his hand up like this, and she said if our water control system failed, the water would be up to that guy's fingertip. So that whole part of the country is underwater. If they didn't have their water control engineers, they have a triple redundant system to keep the water under control, and they took that whole area.
What happens if a dike breaks, though?
Well, they use a combination of windmills, and now they use electric, diesel-powered generators and so forth that pump the water to keep it at bay. And they have the Afsluitdijk, which is out there that keeps the North Sea out.
I'm not so sure.
So it's worked so far. If people have problems with water, they always consult with the Dutch engineers because they're the best at water control in the world. So they've got it down to a science.
Too bad they didn't talk to them down in New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then of course, if you're in Amsterdam, you've got to go to Museumplein, and of course you go to the Rijksmuseum. They have all of the Dutch masters. You know, and
Van Gogh. Wasn't he
Van Gogh, they have a separate museum across from the Rijksmuseum where Vincent van Gogh they have the largest collection, obviously, of Van Gogh art.
Wow,
right there. And
I can imagine what that museum is.
And you always want to get your tickets in advance. And, of course, if you go to the Van Gogh Museum, not only do you get a date, you get a time. You have to go there you have a half-an-hour window to get in, and if you don't show up, your ticket's invalid.
And then once you're in, can you sort of like
you can
stroll
stay
at your leisure?
Yeah, they don't throw you out, but yeah. So.
It's just entering.
And then, of course, there's the Anne Frank house, you know.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So that's it. What else have we got here? They have a really nice park.
Did you do the Anne Frank thing? I
did.
I admire that story.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the way they had her hidden in the attic and so forth. Yeah.
Wow. See, I
So
know.
that's
I know the
worth
story.
going
I
to.
didn't know it was the Netherlands.
Yeah, it's in Amsterdam.
Oh.
So that's, again, you need to get your tickets early, because if you go on the day, you may not get in. There's usually a line. So.
Wow.
But and if their version of Central Park is Vondel Park. It's a beautiful park right in Amsterdam.
Is it big? Like
It's a
Central Park?
It's big, and it's got water and lots of paths and so forth.
So where it's all like sort of below sea level, because I told you when I went to Lithuania last year, that's where I landed in
Schiphol.
Schiphol. And as soon as you get off the plane, you know, you have to go. I had to go through custom. Welcome to Amsterdam. It had that name that I couldn't read, and then it says, "Welcome to below sea level."
No.
So I take it you can get by on English there.
Yes, I was very surprised when I first went. My first time there, I went to get a pizza, and tried and ordered pizza in Dutch, and the kid's laughing at me. He goes, "Are you looking for pizza?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Oh, you speak English?" And he says, "We all speak English." I said, "Oh, why?" He said, "Well, basically, they're big on international business, and so as a result of that, they start learning English at age 6.
Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome to Norm's Friends. How are you today?
Not too bad, and you?
I'm doing good. Mary, tomorrow, 5 to 6, cruising with Mary. How are you, Mary?
Not too bad. Trying to stay warm.
That's good. You have power today?
Yes. Yes. That's what, yesterday I lost it for a while.
Yeah.
It came back on, and then I lost my internet and lost everything. So I had no TV for almost 4 hours.
Wow. Mary, what's with the pin cushion? What's with the pin cushion?
The pin cushion?
Yeah.
I don't know. I do have some now.
I don't know, because that's what I'm seeing here, so I just mention it. Pin cushion.
Yeah.
Do you have a guest tomorrow?
No, I'm not sure unless he calls and lets me know, Mr. G.
Oh, I never heard that name before, Mr. G.
Mr. G, yeah. He has a show. I like it. He does a lot of, with cooking and stuff like that on the shows.
Yeah.
And everything. And he has, different things that he'll buy, and you got to guess what he has.
Hey, who's JP? Who's JP?
JT?
Yeah.
Well, J I do know, and T I know.
Okay, well, there you go. They're close. They're close. If you haven't heard from them.
Yeah, they are. They're very close to me. One is my nephew, and the other one's my niece.
All right, there you go. Mary, do you have a question for this world traveler here?
I know. I was just wondering if he gone to Portugal or anything.
No, I haven't done the southern route yet. I'd like to do
Mary,
Spain, Portugal, and Italy.
I've been to Portugal.
Yeah, I know. Everybody says that's beautiful. I know some friends that came from Portugal.
Have you ever been?
They were born. No. I would love to.
I probably went, I bet you it's got to be close to, 30, 35 years ago. I remember it was very inexpensive. It was very beautiful there. But they closed. I remember when I got there. We'll say, by the time I got into the hotel and went out, it was like lunchtime, a little after. The shops are closed for siesta.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they close. Imagine.
Yeah.
And I always remember Avenue da Cidade. That's the main road downtown Lisbon. And there was this little thing with outside restaurants, because I went in June. And I always remember, I'm walking by the restaurants, the very first song I heard, I always remember, Be My Baby. I do. So that's my story for Portugal. But it was good. I went for 2 weeks, so there you have it. But it was good, Mary.
There you go, yeah.
Hit the lottery and check it out.
My cat, I call Miss Addie.
Yeah.
My queen.
Yeah.
Well, she won the American's favorite pet.
Get out.
In the contest.
All right, good for her. Wow, so now
She made Cat of the Month and Cat of the Year. In fact, they're going to be making a calendar, and she's going to be on one of the calendars.
Wow, so she's a celebrity. I'm going to have to come over and get her paw print.
I know.
Her potograph.
Wow.
Yeah, I just put it in and just see, how she would do. And then she was picked.
Nice.
Miss January, Kitty of January, and Kitty of the Year.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I can see her now, nice and proud, standing up nice and proud, taking it all in. And she knows, too. She knows.
Oh, yes.
She knows.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's my queen, Addie. She's the boss of the family.
All right. There you go.
All right, we'll catch you later. If you have nothing to do tomorrow, come on in and stop.
I'm working tomorrow night, but maybe the following week I'm not. But I'm working some.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Okay, thanks, Mary.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Tomorrow, Cruising with Mary, 5 to 6 p.m. All right, so John.
So, so speaking of cats, my friend in the Netherlands has a beautiful calico cat. So
Female.
female, well, yes, it's very rare to get a male calico cat because it's a settling tree.
It's the same with a dog and a cat. A male only will have 2 colors. If it's got more than 2 colors, right away you know it's female.
Yeah. So when I was over there in the springtime, I wound up editing his book. He wrote a book called The Splasher. But
Sounds like the Flasher.
No, it's The Splasher.
And
But anyway, it's on Amazon. But anyway, he has the calico cat. So that's.
And how old is the calico
She's
cat?
5 years old now.
Oh, is that Lowell? The calico cat, the name?
Lola.
Oh, Lola.
Lola, yes.
Lola,
the
all right.
calico cat.
Oh, like the song.
I gave it to him as a
Lola.
birthday present in 2018.
Really? Lola. Lola, Lola, Lola. So, now how many times have you been over there, John?
Actually, I'd have to think about that. Well, I was 4 times before I even went to live there because I checked out the different places, and I've gone every year at least once since then. So probably about 8 or 9 times.
Not bad.
I was there twice this year, and well, there's a lot of things to see. It's a beautiful country, and I enjoy it. It's very relaxing. It's always rated as one of the happiest countries in the world. The people are very easygoing, and they have a good work-life balance. So they get a month of vacation. One of the things that I was surprised at, I don't know if all companies do this, but some of the other companies, what they do is they set aside money, and when you go on vacation, they give you a check because they want you to go and do something so that you can recharge your batteries and come back refreshed
do a better
to work
job.
again. So, and they don't, the stores and stuff aren't open as late as they are here, and some places are closed on Sunday because they're trying to do a nice balance between work and family. Another nice feature is for Christmas. Well, actually, they celebrate Christmas on Sinterklaas, which is December 5th, and so that's when they exchange gifts. But on Christmas, it's actually 2 days, which is very convenient because if you know how over here you have to split between one family on one side and one family. This way you can pick one day for one family, the other day for the other family, so it makes it a lot easier that
so
way.
everyone's happy.
Yes, it's much better.
Mention that.
Yeah,
But that's pretty good. You should do that here because here it's just the kids. All they think Christmas is Santa Claus. They all miss out on it's Jesus and it's God and it's to nourish your soul, which it's sad because everybody's missing out on the most important gift.
Yeah.
Instead of spiritual, it's material, which really doesn't do it. It's sad, but anyway, so much for that.
Another thing, if you go over in the springtime, you definitely want to go to Kokenhof. That's
Kokenhof?
Kokenhof.
Kokenhof.
It's a park, and what happens is the tulip farmers, they each are given an assigned area, and they have a theme each year. And so, like in the fall, they will plant the bulbs, and then they'll all come up in the springtime. And the buyers can go through the park and they have signs for each different grower, and they have. I didn't realize they had so many different types of tulips, types and colors, and then they decide which ones they want to buy. But they also open it to the public, and it's just. Every year I've gone that I've been there in the spring. I've gone to see it, and it's different each year, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's a very relaxing park. You get to walk around. There's fountains and all different types of tulips and displays.
So when you
and
say
so
it's
forth.
like different things, what do you mean by like?
Well, they pick a particular theme. I don't remember specifically what it was this year, but that helps set the what type of displays they do. because they can plant them in different configurations.
Oh,
So they try to make it look that way.
like the year of the
Keeping with
cat, they plant them what, to look like cats?
Something like that, yeah.
Tulips that meow when they open
No.
and close?
No. Oh, no. But, yeah, so we already did the red light district.
Yeah,
If
now
you-
what
if
about
you
the
go to-
weed district? What about the weed district? What's that?
Well, they have, well, there isn't actually a weed district. They have what's called coffee houses. So if you want coffee, you don't go to a coffee house.
Oh,
Coffee
really?
house, a coffee house is where you get your marijuana.
Your pot?
Yes. So then they have coffee houses all over the place.
And so now these coffee
You're-
houses, you go there just to buy it, or it's like a coffee house, you sit down and
It depends
sample?
on how much space they have. Like Bulldog in Amsterdam, you can actually, you go there, get your weed, you can sit outside or you can sit inside. They have different, and you can actually get food there also. But it depends on the size. You can go and just buy your weed, or you can go there and they have a place where you can sit around and hang out.
Now, Bulldog, is that a tough crowd? It sounds like it would be a tough
No,
crowd.
not really.
Bulldog.
What's ironic
Bulldog.
is that the building used to be the police station. They have a
Alright,
new
so
police station, but
hence
the one,
Bulldog,
the old
alright.
police station, it actually says on the top,
Oh,
police
does it?
station. But that's where the Bulldog coffee shop is located.
So, and did you go there?
Yes, I did.
And what did you sample?
I didn't sample. But yes, but that is again, you can, I have up to, I think it's 5 grams a day you can buy there.
Well, I don't know.
In,
All that stuff.
yeah, so it's controlled again, so like, you know, you don't have to go to a drug dealer to get your weed, so that they consider a benefit. And it helps with that. They actually, surprisingly, I read a statistic that they have the lowest, in Europe, they have the lowest teen drug use.
Really?
Yeah.
No, so I've never been there, so now do they have like homeless people and stuff and people sleeping in tents like they do here?
When
And
even
people walking
in
around
a
dressed
lot
like
of these
they're going or
countries,
coming
in a
from
lot of these
Walmart.
countries, I would like look for like homeless people. I did see one homeless person in Germany, but I haven't run into any homeless people in the Netherlands. And I look for places that like we would consider a ghetto or something, and I don't know, they have a better social system, so they don't seem to have those problems as, you know, so.
Well, maybe they don't have all the handouts like we do. I think that's just enhances the.
Well, they
cycle.
have a good work ethic in the country, so, and they, as I said, it's a well-to-do country. They do a lot of international trade and business in that nature, so you see a lot of people they have a lot of nice cars and so forth.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So when are you going back?
That's a good question. I don't know. Probably not this year, but maybe next year.
Wow, and this year just started.
Well, yeah, but I've discussed with you, I have other issues to deal
Oh,
with
that's right.
this
I
year.
forgot. That's right.
But anyway,
He's taking a different vacation.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have Rotterdam as the largest port in Europe. That's interesting. And then
Uh-huh.
they have a UNESCO site called Kinderdijk, and that they have a lot of old windmills there, the traditional windmills from back in the day. So you can go and see those.
Cool.
In my
love
last
stuff
visit
like
in the fall, I went to Zaanstad, and that they took buildings from around the country from the 18th and 19th century and recreated a village, and then there's a big bay, and then they have some windmills along that. So you've probably seen pictures of it, but that's a good thing to take. And then the Geithorn is the Venice of the north, you know, the Venice of the Netherlands.
Oh, is it?
And they have canals, and they have the houses with thatched roofs.
Wow.
And, yeah, so that they have boats that, you know, ride on the canals and so forth. And
Did you go do that?
I did the walking trail. I didn't take any of the.
How do you
I did the canal trip in Amsterdam, but I didn't do
Oh.
it in Geithorn, and of course in Den Bosch. That's where they had the Bosch balls. They're puff pastry with cream filling and chocolate on top, and that's where
They sound yummy.
they invented them. So when I went there, they said you got to try those, and I did. They were definitely worth the adventure.
Really, and just as tasty as you think they would be.
Yeah, they're very good.
You didn't bring any back.
No, they need. I was going to buy more than one, but they said it requires refrigeration because there's cream in the middle.
Oh,
There's cream in the mixture, in the vanilla and cream and so forth in the
like
center.
cream puffs or
They're cream. They're basically cream puffs. Yeah. but-
chocolate covered cream puffs.
Yeah, they're very good.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, and then they have Efteling as their amusement park, that's a fun place to go to, especially if you like roller coasters.
Oh, I love roller
They have a lot
coasters.
of variety of roller coasters.
Oh, do
most
they?
of which I wouldn't go on.
Why not? I love roller coasters.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big crazy roller coaster with the thing going around and upside
Oh,
down.
I'm
and all
not
that.
really big on those either. I
Yeah.
like the old fashioned one, but we'll say like
Well, I went on the old-fashioned
And
one.
see
Even
the-
then, that throws you around.
Cedar Point, but they got the Millennial Force. It's 300 and something feet high. That fantastic. I love roller coasters.
Well, if you're in, go to Efteling. You get a
All right, I'll
good
have to
selection of
remember
roller
that.
coasters to choose from.
Did you go on any of them?
Oh yeah, I've three or four.
Are they high or not?
Not that high. Some of them are high, but not the one that I went on. I was on a more conservative. Yeah. So, what else
Roller
have we got
coaster
here?
for chickens? No.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And Delft, you've probably seen the blue and white pottery and so forth called Delft. Well, they
Oh, yeah, I
they were
have,
made
yeah.
in Delft, and so there's a museum there, and you can go and see them make the pottery. And,
I remember them. You'd see the old bowls with the windmills on them.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they have not just windmills and everything, but they have
But I remember
the whole-
that,
Yeah,
that's
but
what I
they do have
remember.
those. So that if you go to Delft, you want to go to the Royal Delft Museum and so forth. And both in Delft and Gouda, they have spectacular city halls.
Well, Gouda, is that where the
Startups.
mushrooms come from?
No, the Gouda is the cheese.
Oh,
They're
that's
known for
all
the
right.
Gouda
Oh, is that where the
cheese.
cheese
Yeah,
comes
so you-
from?
they
Gouda?
have
I
a
knew
big-
something was
They have a
there.
Gouda cheese museum.
I see, I knew
So you-
something was from Gouda.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And now was like when you visited there, is it expensive? You go through a lot of cash.
Well, it's more expensive now than it was before, but it's not overly expensive. I'd say it's moderate. It's affordable.
Yeah, now how's
Yeah.
public transportation? To get
Well,
out?
they have good train system. They have the metro in the cities, and
The metro,
and
what, a subway?
No, they're above ground.
Oh,
Yeah,
but what
They-
are
I
they,
didn't-
trains?
I guess you call them a tram. It's the trains. They have a train system, and then they have the trams, which they call the metro. That's for example in Amsterdam.
Oh,
You can get the metro. You can get a metro card. You can get one for half a day or a week, and then one of the things what you do when you go in, you check in, and you have to remember to check out.
oh
So
really?
yeah, they have a thing you check in and check out.
And what happens if you don't check out?
Well,
Does it just like
it's a problem if you are a Dutch person and you buy the card. My understanding is that they deduct the money based on. So if you don't check out, they think they think you're still riding. So it's a problem.
wow?
So you can get. I guess you get. I think my friend forgot to check out one time. I think you get fined. So,
Wow.
yeah, so you do run a. So that they always tell you check in, check out.
I could
So-
see them trying to implement that in Boston on the T, right? Where you didn't check out, cough it up.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Oh, is that your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I had it turned down.
I
but-
guess not, but
I
that's
guess-
all right. That's all right.
So what else have we got on here?
Right, we don't have much time left.
Okay, so
We only have
the
a
other thing
couple
is
minutes.
Maastricht. It's in the southern part of the country. It's got, and that's where they have a big fort, and there's also some caves that were man-made,
Oh, wow.
and that's where they hid the artwork from the Germans in World War II.
Really? Wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty neat.
Mhm.
That's pretty
Yeah,
neat.
so we
I
just
like stuff like
so basically we
that.
got to cover pretty much the Netherlands. I don't think there's anything here.
I know, see? That's
So-
all we got to cover was, he'll have to come back because he's got a big, long list
we have
here.
Iceland is another place that's worth a visit, definitely. I was just there around Christmas time. I'd recommend going in the summer because they have long days. This time of year, sunrise is at 11:10 and it sets at 3:30, so you don't have much sunlight.
Wow, I guess not.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, would you a volcano chaser?
No, the volcano erupted the day after I left, so I just missed it.
Wow.
But they do have active volcanoes. But this one was excited. They were getting excited about because it's near the airport and it's near Reykjavik. The other ones are further away on the island. But,
Right.
But anyway, well, thank you for having me as your guest.
Thank you for coming on as my guest, Third Floor John. Hopefully I can talk him into coming back and go over more travels. I find it very interesting.
Yeah, well, Israel and Japan are pretty interesting.
All right, so I have to come back at least twice. Okay, keep it right here, right after me. Rock, paper, hand grenades, always interesting. Remember, I don't care what you think of the candidates, whether you think they all are crap or not. Go out and vote for one. Take advantage of your civic duty, your right as an American citizen, because we all know there's illegals that are going to go out there. They're pleased they can vote. So go out and vote next Tuesday. Don't forget. If you don't go out and vote, don't talk to me. All right, and there you go. Again, I want to thank my wonderful guest, the elitist traveler, Third Floor John, for coming on. Thank you very much. And please, 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 if it's two things you need to remember, you can't be dumb if you want to be free. And even more importantly, you are a winner.